This is the Parks meeting for the Parks Commission. Today is Wednesday, June 11th, 5:30, and my name is Jesse Alexander, 37 Lombard.
Jessica Hall, 2 Madison Way.
Joshua Tenpenny, 12 Simons Hill Road.
Hunter Young, 86 Brad Hill Road.
Excellent. Okay, I gave you guys our agenda. We don't have anybody from the public here. So I guess that is good. We still don't have an updated budget. We have the new accountant starting, like a town accountant.
Okay.
So they haven't sent out a new one yet. We're still fine. So that's good to know. The new budget should be coming out, right? Because we're in June, so July would be the new fiscal year. So we're good. We made, I think it's on here, but we made $95.75
Okay.
For donations for the townwide yard sale maps. So that was good. You know, I mean, you don't expect much, but it was good.
It was rainy.
Right? It was raining, I know. We had one new field usage request. Katie Young from Celebrations, she wants to do None Such Fest. She's changing None Such Night this year, and doing like food trucks and all kinds of fun things. So she had given us a request for October 11th. It's an all-day event on the 11th. And we've got nothing out there, so I have approved it.
Wonderful.
It sounds like fun. I don't remember what it was before. What?
So
It was a movie, right?
Not Such Night was a movie and a couple of food trucks. And then Non Such Fest is going to be bands, some games, and a bunch of food trucks. She partnered with the Woo Trucks.
Oh, yep. Yes. So it should be a fun event. Mark your calendars. We have our event is coming along, so we decided to call it the Hubbardston Summer Social. I made a flyer. We can pass it around. You can check it out if you have comments, questions, tips, whatever. I'm happy to make changes to it. It's not, final, obviously. The Green Sisters are booked, so they're coming. We have Maddie's Ice Cream Truck that is coming. Moon Hill Brewing just gave me all of their paperwork to get a one-day pour license. So they're going to sell beers to drink on premise. And I also reached out to Agronomy, the winery. They are interested, and I'm just waiting for their paperwork. So we'll have those. We need to book the bounce house for it. Jessica found a place. Is this the one in town?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
I forwarded it to you.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes, yeah, I have it. Found a place. They're giving us like a town discount and all this stuff, and they will deliver it and pick it up, which is fantastic because then we don't have to worry about that. For $161.50. We don't need to find out how to get it on the field because they will take care of that. Did you reach out to Giacomo's?
Yes, they're coming.
They're gonna come? Okay.
Same with, trying to think of the bakery lady.
Curious Cravings?
Yes,
That's the one
they're
I had
coming.
written down. They are gonna come? Okay. And so their bakery, what's Giacomo's gonna do? Did they say?
I told them you could do anything. And just let me know what you're doing. And they'll get back to me.
Okay, cool. Look at this. It's coming together. It's exciting. Did you talk to anyone at the Lions?
Yes, so they brought up at their meeting the two things, the food truck. They were going to reach out to the people that run the food truck. I can circle back and see if they're interested, or do we have enough?
I think we have enough.
Okay.
They have their own event in September.
Right. Okay.
This is our first time doing anything like this, so I don't want to go crazy,
Yeah,
obviously, and have too many
we'll table that
vendors
then.
that aren't getting anything. But I think that's good. I mean, if they wanted to do something to, raise funds or something, I don't know. I should probably talk to them at some point just to check in. But I think that we are in good shape. The only thing that I have to do is the bounce house. So I'll end up just paying for that on my personal card, and then when we get the grant back to reimburse it, I'll have papers that people need to sign just to reimburse me when we do that.
I noticed at the last event, the bounce house was really close to the gazebo. So we probably want to make sure that there's a bit of a distance so that when they're playing the music, there's not a bounce house right on top.
Not so loud, yeah.
If there's an extension cord or something, just so that we separate it a bit.
Yeah. Is that, were you at the fair this
No,
past
but I saw a
weekend?
picture of it.
Okay.
And the bounce house was like really, really close to the bandstand.
I'm
just-
sure we can run a electrical cord for the bounce
Yeah,
house.
you can. You just gotta make sure you have a long enough extension cord.
Okay. I know I've got like those huge, like 100-foot, 200-foot ones, the outdoor orange guys. So I can bring that too. That's a good,
Yeah,
a
just
good call
was
out.
thinking they're trying to play music and kids screaming in the bounce house might be.
Yeah, distracting,
Much.
distracting for both
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
The
How
one,
big is the motor on one of those blowers? Like, you might need like a heavy duty extension cord. But
I know
don't
we've run them with a regular,
regular
one.
extension cord?
Yes,
Cool.
but I'll double check with that company
They
just to
might
see if
have
they
one,
have,
yeah.
if they have any thoughts on it. One thing that we should talk about is, we could turn it into something where we would make money off of the bounce house for parks. We could
Yeah.
charge. Typically, when people have bounce houses, they charge at the
Yeah.
different events. So I think that might not be a bad idea. We could certainly use donations. So I can ask around. I think before they did like, I don't know, it was like $5 for like 5 minutes or something like that of bouncing. Or like you could do like wristbands, like a $5 wristband, and they can bounce whenever. We will need somebody monitoring it though, because kids can get a little crazy.
Probably a number limit, kind of decide how many at a time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to be coming from work, so I can get here around 6:30.
Okay. Okay. You're available that day, right? Or that night, Hunter?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I am too. I'm making sure I'm keeping it clear. One thing that we could do is we could reach out to Quabbin and see if there's any kids that need community service hours, and ask if they would want to help. We probably would also want like one of us there too.
Someone to supervise them.
Right.
Yeah.
So someone to supervise that, unless you get some very, responsible kids.
I've worked events where they decided to stop doing volunteers because it was more work to supervise the volunteers than it was to.
Yes.
To do it
that
yourself.
that can become a thing. I don't mind. I certainly don't mind. Like we could also cover it in shifts. It's not like it's a full day event. We're talking about 2 hours.
Yeah.
If we each did just half an hour,
Yeah.
or got family or friends involved that were just willing to help out, we could do that as well. So I'm going to think on that one a little bit more. But I definitely think we should have someone
Yeah,
monitoring.
definitely.
I don't know what they have for limits. Like I would probably say like 5 kids, maybe 6.
The bouncy house people probably know what their bouncy house is rated for, right?
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Although I suppose it
guess.
depends on how big the kids are.
That's true. That is true. Because I do love a good bouncy house.
I went to the Boston Children's Science Museum one day and saw that like the ball pits were like, oh, you must be at least this tall. And I'm like, are adults allowed in the ball pit? And they're like, are you at least this tall? Go right ahead.
That is fun. All right, I'll see. I'll reach out to them. They gave me all their stuff. So are we good to book the bounce house? We all
Oh,
agree
yeah.
it's a good idea. We should do it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And I think having a paid some sort of fee for the bounce house is a great idea.
Okay. I like the idea of wristbands, and then just make it unlimited.
Yeah.
They
and then
can
you don't have
just
to have
go
people
in.
with a timer being like, get
Right,
out, and then
yeah.
someone has to go in and fish the child out and is crying.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. We don't want all that. I think that's good. Everybody like the flyer? Should I make any changes? Since it's sponsored by the Mass Cultural Council, we have to put that little blurb on all of our.
Does it need quote marks on it?
Yes.
It does need quote marks
They give
on
us
it.
the exact thing. It's a copy and paste deal.
Okay.
So if we're good with this, then I can start posting it. You know, I,
I
think
like
we
the
should
sort of
start getting it
sherbet
out.
color scheme. Nice.
Yeah, right. I thought it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I'll throw on. Maybe I'll change it to just like some food trucks and beer and wine for sale instead of calling everyone out. Because now that we have more,
They may not all
more
fit.
would, yeah. So I might play a little bit, but I'll send it to you guys just for the final. Like, yep, looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Did the Green Sisters want anything up front, or they'll?
I haven't heard from her, but I will
Okay.
find out.
Okay.
I will absolutely find out. I'll reach out to Mel. Yeah, she didn't say anything, but I will check on that. Okay, so we're good on our event. Old new business. Did you get the agreement from Ray? Is that it? Fantastic.
I
Nice
did
job.
edit the paper a little bit.
That's okay. Yeah, that's fine. I just
Yeah.
pulled up like that was Chat GPT there that pulled up an agreement because I've never done anything like that before.
I had to change some of the wording around.
Okay. Yeah, I'm perfectly good for it.
Yep.
Thank you very much. So now are you going to try to do that? We want to.
I'll have to talk to Travis
Okay.
about that to see if he can help because he has the equipment for it and the dirt.
Okay, right, and the dirt. But we have this, so this is good. So we can move forward with that. I'll just keep it in my folder. Nate just wanted something in writing so that 3 years from now they weren't like, hey, what happened to this thing? Yeah, exactly. So it's in writing. So you're going to work with Travis on
Yeah.
removing it? Okay, perfect. That's good. So we have a resident in town who's interested in opening a pickleball court. We had mentioned that before. I talked to another person who's also interested. Like a bunch of people are becoming very interested in this.
Okay.
And I was
Good.
thinking short term, something easy that we could do quickly would be to get one of those rollaway nets on the basketball court.
Okay.
So, in an account, we have $8,000 to reseal the basketball courts themselves. So we need to find someone who can reseal it for us. And then once we do that, we could look into purchasing the rollaway nets and then offering pickleball, when people aren't playing basketball, people who just come and play pickleball at that
Okay.
place. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Probably might need to have scheduled times for it, so there's not conflicts. I'm just anticipating if there's times people play basketball or then they show up with the nets, and I don't know, if there's certain times you'd want to designate.
I don't know. It seems like there's maybe not that much use that people can work it out amongst themselves, right? Like, I mean, most places that have like a basketball court, you don't have to sign up. It's not like a gym.
Right.
But it's like a dual use, right? So I don't know. I just know where cities and towns that have pickleball, it's
Yeah.
really a big thing right now.
Oh, so you do need to sign up for
So
it.
they kind of really get a lot of use on the pickleball courts. It's a thing right now. So I don't know, just trying to
Yeah, I
think
mean, we
about the
might-
dual use. Could
If-
see how it goes.
Yeah, I think see how it goes. Like, that don't try to solve a problem that doesn't
Yeah.
exist yet. But if it becomes a problem, then definitely be like, okay, now,
Yeah.
the pickleball is clearly
Yeah. Is
far
it
more
really?
popular than
Yeah.
basketball. So,
And
I-
then
yeah.
there's lines that need to be painted for the pickleball court.
Oh.
It's an actual court. So I don't know.
That's
Yeah.
what the court looks like.
Paint them in a different color than the basketball lines.
Okay.
So
Without
just
the lines,
basically
it's really hard to
squares.
To actually play
pickleball.
and
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah, I've not played
score and all
pickleball,
that
so-
stuff. Yeah, I have
It's
not.
like
either.
tennis. It's
So
similar
being
to-
out of bounds is a big deal. So
yeah,
you need to
and what
know
box
where
you
your
hit
out of
it
bounds
in,
are.
and
Okay.
yeah, it's Yeah.
It needs lines.
Need to be need to be inbounds.
Okay.
Okay, so there, I mean,
Okay.
we're just brainstorming
Yeah.
at this point. I mean, it could be something that,
So if we're getting it resurfaced, right, then you need to resealed, then we obviously need to repaint the basketball lines on. And
Right.
so we could, get both painted on.
yeah, can you do that? Would that be
Yeah,
like
two different colors? I don't know.
wild?
I'd have to research that. Look
Me.
at the dimensions. I don't know what the dimensions of a pickleball court are. They're a little bit smaller than a tennis court, but within the parameters of a tennis court.
Mhm.
So they play pickleball on tennis courts and just roll out the pickleball nets and
Mhm.
then have different lines.
And use those lines, yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I was just trying to come up with a quick
Yeah.
fix because it'll take us time to
Mm-hmm.
pursue any actual pickleball courts.
I mean,
A
they-
separate pickleball court, yeah.
Yeah.
They might be able to tape lines or something, the pickleball people.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Maybe. Hi, Mike.
Hi, good evening. How's
How-
it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Excellent. Are you here from the public for parks, or are you just hanging out?
Absolutely.
You are?
No.
I think Parks and Rec is one of the few meetings I haven't made,
Oh.
all one. So actually, I have 2 meetings right after this
Okay.
here. So I got here early.
Okay, excellent. So you're not here to ask questions
No, I
or
haven't.
propose
If
anything?
I was, I would have known your agenda and been providing input.
There
Very
we go.
good. Just wanted to check.
Thank you, Jess.
Of course. Nice to
Appreciate
see
it.
you.
Likewise.
Okay, so,
So
yeah.
I can check on the dimensions for pickleball and basketball and so forth if you like.
Okay, yeah, that'd be
Put that on my
fantastic.
list.
That would be good.
And is it a bid process to seal the court? We have to put a bid out or?
We do not
Okay.
because we have the funds. If it goes over, I think it was like $10,000, then we would have to do a bidding process. I don't know anybody in this town. I know very few people. I've been recommended to reach out to Alan Crane, who is a contractor, I guess, to see if he has any suggestions of people that can seal coat. I guess seal coating a basketball court is different than just
Than
like
a
a
driveway.
driveway.
Yeah.
So would have to make sure that we were doing that.
And again, we need lines.
Yes,
so-
we need lines. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
totally different than just driveways.
Yes. So I don't know if anybody is interested in reaching out and seeing if we could find quotes to get it sealed. If anyone wants to tackle that. Crickets.
Crickets.
I can work on that.
You could work on
Yeah.
that? Okay, just to see if we
And
can.
we try to stay with people within the town or just local, I don't know, I'm just.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably
There's a
stay
comment
local.
from the-
Oh,
Comment
got
from
a
the
comment.
audience.
Yes, yes.
Mike Stahl, 5 Lombard Road. I would check with the town administrator first, because that's a procurement, whether or
Right.
not, you have to go out to bid or not, and how many quotes you need. I'm pretty certain he's the contracting officer, and us on the committees typically don't have that authority, but the town administrator does.
Okay.
So I'm just offering that
Yeah.
because I've been through the drill quite a
Yeah,
bit.
he meant, so I did talk to him about it. We have funds already allocated, and he said that we didn't have to go through the whole purchasing process if it was under $10,000.
That part, I totally agree with them on.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe the nuance of who gets to do it
Okay,
and whatnot is the other part of it.
okay,
Yeah, at 10K, that is the limit where you don't have to go out to advertise a formal bid. You still would reach out to get quotes, or at least a minimum of, obviously, 1 quote.
right. Okay,
I can reach out to Nate and just ask
Thank
about
you.
the process.
yeah, that would be great. Thank you. Can
You're
use all
welcome.
the input anyone has. That would be awesome. I do have Alan's contact info somewhere. He had reserved the basketball court for a 3-on-3 game the weekend that it was pouring rain. So, I mean, maybe we get a couple different people from different areas. It's not bad to get pricing on it. And then, so you'll get like the dimensions and that
Yeah.
information to find out. We can also pursue getting grant money and actually building a pickleball
Yeah.
court. Hunter, before you've mentioned the place by the cell tower or that land, I mean, would have to go through, first would have to run it by the select board to see if it's even an option for us.
Yeah.
Well, currently, that land was meant to be for a senior center.
Mm-hmm.
Because the state put a well after the town and state swapped lands. So I don't know if that'd be possible. The state might get a little mad.
The select board I think is meeting next week. I could see if we could just ask the question of them to see what they have for thoughts on it. Because if it ends up like you can't just roll a net over for pickleball, if it's a lot more detailed, then we might want to look at a different route. But there's a lot more interest. I've received a couple emails and some people in town that are really interested, and they might help us with grants and help figure out that part too. So it might be good to get other people involved to help out, especially where I've never played. I don't know. So it's news to me.
Yeah, it's a very popular emerging sport.
Yes, I heard from Gardner. Somebody from Gardner called me and they were like, "Do you have pickleball courts?" It's like, "No," and they're like, "We do, but they're always full." So, I mean, it could be interesting to look into. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's good for the pickleball part. Again, we still need to schedule that meeting with Nate to focus on the walking track, getting grants for the walking track. I really think the ADA grant would be a great opportunity for us. We did the pictures. We're still just waiting for information back.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything. Have you heard anything? Probably not. You're just
Yeah,
around the
no.
town. I don't know if you'd heard anything.
Nope.
No. So I'll check in with Nate. I know he's just a little crazy right now with everything, the budget and the year, so but I will check in. I think all of that starts in like January, so we have a little bit of time anyways before we started having to pursue the grants. My next thing was to work with the DPW to remove the can collection bin.
Okay.
I actually spoke to a Cub Scout from the Westminster pack, and they were going to use the pavilion, and it ended up not happening. But I mentioned the can bottle thing to him, and he said that they do not have interest, but that they would be willing to help us get rid of it.
Okay.
So he was going to just check with their troop or their group and make sure that's what they all wanted to do. And then maybe we can set up some time to have them come and just dispose of it. Because it's not being used or taken care of. There's no upkeep on it. So
Okay.
it's just going to turn into a dumpster.
Yeah.
Like, it is a dumpster
Yeah.
right now.
Okay.
So I will just follow up with him on that. The gate. So I spoke with all the sports about locking the gate, and they're fine with locking all three. Baseball wasn't very happy about it because they maintain their field. They do all their field maintenance. But he agrees, he understands, and then he came back and gave me some feedback on who was actually driving on the tracks. Like, they're driving on the path, like not on the grass. And it's not baseball at that time that he had said. So in my mind, I think that baseball should get their own key, but not the other guys. The other guys can go in through the side. They don't mow the soccer fields. They don't need to have a key, but the baseball guy comes and he mows it regularly. So coordinating with whoever has the key at that time, he's volunteering his time by taking care of the field. So making it more difficult for him, to me, is not the right move.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
You agree with that? You agree with that?
Could get us a schedule when he goes up there.
But if you're volunteering your time and you have a full-time job and a family, it's hard to know exactly when you're going to go do something. You know, it's like, oh, look, I've got a spare hour. I could run up and
It's a
mow
nice
the
day.
field.
It's not
Right.
raining. It's a
It's
good
not
time.
raining. Exactly.
Yeah, if he's the one person who has a legitimate need to drive through that gate,
Right.
right?
Yeah. And then soccer, I mean, it would just be going to the head of the Quabbin baseball, Matt Packinen. That I'm good with that, and then we could lock them all.
Okay.
Now, so are there other people who might need to get through those gates, though? Or
So would have to get keys for the fire department, the
Yeah.
police department, the
DPW.
DPW. Hunter, I vote you to have the key because you're the key guy, and I do not need any more keys.
Second.
Second. I got a motion.
All in favor?
are you good with that?
And then I'd probably just, you had mentioned before that you'd be okay with it. Because also your mom,
Well,
she's the one that's probably going to cut the lock all the time.
I'm also the building guy, so
Right. So you should have one. So I think that would pretty much be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that makes sense to me. I just don't want to, I don't want to put baseball out more. Because his other alternative was like, fine, well then the town can start
Mowing.
maintaining the
Yeah,
fields.
exactly,
Right.
yeah.
And how are we going to do that with
Yeah.
what budget? So that's
Makes
keeping the
sense.
peace. So we all, I guess we need a motion to move forward with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
Okay.
the motion to lock?
To lock all three and give keys to the people we just mentioned. Yes.
Seconded.
Second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Excellent. Thank you. We'll just firm up, make sure with Nate that everybody who needs one has one.
yeah.
Okay. There's somebody that we don't, know about that should have access. Okay. Did you hear anything from the Lions on the bandstand?
So they brought it up at their meeting, and they stated that a lot of the items were things they used for field day, but they were going to go up and take a look.
Okay.
So I need to circle back to the president to see what, if anything, they can remove from there.
Okay. Do they have a key to be able to do that? They must if they.
Yeah, I'll reach out to, it's Kellyanne Icaboni is the president, so I'll
Okay.
reach out. I can give you her contact info also, but I'll reach out to her just to see if anyone's looked at it, because we'd like to have it cleaned out. That's what we're asking, correct?
Yeah,
Or-
there's a lot. I was looking. There's just a lot under there. It's not
A lot of junk.
a lot of junk. There's a lot of
Okay.
really, really old metal chairs, like
Okay.
school chairs.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how they use those on field day.
Okay.
But
The last field day, I saw them using their pavilion. I never saw them using those chairs.
yeah, because they have the new, benches and tables there.
So if we were going to clean it out, how would we go about doing that? Just, is there,
Would just like them to remove their stuff.
but what if they don't claim it, I guess is what I'm saying, if
if
they're.
they don't want it?
Yeah.
then
Okay,
would-
so if it's their stuff that they don't want, they can get
Well,
rid of
that-
it
I just-
themselves.
right,
But if
I'll-
they say it's not my stuff,
Right.
that's different.
Right.
Right. If it's not, then we can figure out
Okay.
what we need to do at that
Okay.
point. It's not, it's not like a urgent matter.
Yeah,
it's
I just
something
wonder if we
wanted
have to
do.
kind of put a time frame on it, like by this date, please take a look or we'll be cleaning it out.
Okay.
I don't know, I'm just, because it's been open a month and I haven't heard back, so just wondering if you want to put a time frame on it.
I'd put a time frame on it because it'll just speed up their process of actually going to look through it.
To do it.
Because if you don't put a time frame on it, next thing you know, it's going to be like 10 years and nobody's looked at it.
That is very true.
So you'd say by like mid-July, July 10th, is that too far? I don't know, just trying
No,
to
I
pick
think-
a
I mean,
date.
I think that's
Early,
fine.
July 1st.
I think that's fine. We're already in June, so
Yeah.
they got to meet and talk about it and have time to go see it. So I'm fine,
Okay.
I mean, in my mind, it would be like by the end of the summer,
Yeah, okay.
But, I mean, if we wanted to really crack down on them, I think if we give them a lot of time up front and then come, after field day, it's still there, then we're like, okay.
Right,
You've got a
okay.
week and
Yeah.
it's gone.
Okay.
Okay.
I think it could be like a fire hazard. There's like a lot of random things down
Right.
there. Okay. And townwide yard sale, as I mentioned before, we made $95.75 in donations for the maps. The senior center collected that for us, which was fantastic. It went well. We had to extend it to Sunday because of the rain.
Yeah. It's a lot of rain.
My takeaway from it next year, I want to work closer with the senior center on it because they had given me a different date. They said they were doing Thursday through Saturday, which is why I did Saturday only. I would have started Saturday and Sunday if I knew they were doing the whole weekend. So that changed somewhere, and I didn't update
Yeah.
our side. But I think it, for them, went well.
Good,
And
good.
that was good. I don't think, my trash bag. So in there, I have some Memorial Day banners, the little flags that go around Clark's Corner and the bandstand. I just got them, so it was after Memorial Day, unfortunately. But it would be lovely if we could hang them up since we have them. And I've been trying to for 2 weeks, and I have not had a single minute to do this. So I brought it to see if anyone would be interested or available to just hang them up for us, for parks. Maybe yes, maybe not.
Friday I have no work. Thursday I'm gonna be finishing ripping out that carpet.
Earliest I could do is Friday of next week.
Of next week.
Yeah.
If somebody could, it'd be great. I'm in like crazy time of year at the moment, so my next chance would be after vacation. I have like 1 week in July, that's it, where I have time to sneak in there. Would you be able to take them? Do you mind?
Are those banners all the same size?
Yes. Well, I think so. There's 2 different types of banners, because one went on Clark's and then the other went on the bandstand. But they're in good shape. I mean, they just bought them last year.
Okay.
So yeah, I would just to make it look
These are-
nice. I wish we had it Memorial Day, but
These are going on like the bandstand, like the railings?
the railings or around it or whatever you think looks nice. You know, Clark's Corner, the gazebo?
Yeah.
I believe most of them were there. They did like the whole around the front side of it and then had some around. But I mean, I am just happy to have anything up. Since we have them and might as well use them and look festive after Memorial Day. We can be ready for the 4th of July. Hey, there we go. 4th of July.
Okay.
All right. Excellent. Is there anything that you guys wanted to discuss? Anything on anybody's minds?
We have slips for writing candidates here. Who's
Oh, no,
writing?
that's
Okay.
mine. Yeah,
Okay.
that was before.
Okay.
You don't need it?
No.
Okay. Are you guys all set for, do you need to be written in? Did you get your,
Yeah, I don't know if we can, I don't know if that's okay to talk about at a meeting.
oh,
but
okay, then we won't.
Okay.
We can talk about it another time. Is there anything else?
Nope.
No? Okay, then we're good. Meeting adjourned.
Wonderful.